I am joined now once again by the Mayor of Saskatoon, Cynthia Block. Your Worship, good morning.
Good morning.
So this has become a regular thing in our city, but that doesn't make it any easier to stomach. Looks like another big tax hike is coming our way. City administration forecasting a 9.9% hike in 2026 and maybe 7.3% in 2027. Now, obviously, lots of tinkering and lots of work to be done to get some final numbers, but this does sting a little bit.
There's no question that this is not something any of us wants to deal with, but I can tell you that we are still focused on the urgent matters of our time and making sure that we can deliver core services. As we sort of go through this budgeting process for a new multi-year budget, we'll be interested to hear what folks think we can do better. We heard loud and clear last year during the election, people want to make sure that we are funding appropriately for community safety, and that is an enormous lift on what needed to happen for this budget to work. And so, yeah, some additional, I believe, $13 million are being added to the police budget. And with the additional resources that are coming from the province this fall, we are hoping to get a lot more officers on the street and hopefully be able to have residents feel that they are being supported in areas that, of course, are needing it the most, but also in every neighborhood. We know that there are concerns everywhere.
We know inflation and population growth have been cited as the main reasons for this. Just costs are just going up for everybody, everything, everywhere, right? But at some point, is there a time to say no to spending and asks? Like, we know the arena is kind of on the shelf a little bit. Do you think it's tough for people to see millions being poured into like bus rapid transit and things like that when a lot of people are just struggling to get by?
I'll say two things to that. First of all, there's not one dime being spent on moving SaskTel Centre downtown, not one. It's on a shelf. And if and when that facility moves downtown, there will be no mill rate impact. That is a commitment from council, and we continue to have that commitment. There isn't a reason, because it's a for-profit venue. I know that we can do that piece. To your further questions around the whole inflationary piece, this has been one of the really frustrating things for me, and I think for municipalities across the country. And I've heard that. I was just at the Big City Mayor's Caucus last week, and every mayor is talking about a broken fiscal framework that was created in the horse and buggy days. The property tax is an insufficient tool and an unsustainable tool for the things that cities do. And you've probably heard me use this example before, but when a fire engine cost $800,000 in 2020 and is now more than $2 million, how do you not get the fire engine? Like, this is an enormous expense. And some of those police budget numbers are also connected to the extraordinary additional inflationary costs that they're facing. I would just maybe say one other thing about bus rapid transit. This is a way to help us get less expensive. The overall costing for the link is almost entirely funded now. Like, there's not really much left to do in terms of mill rate impact. This is an opportunity for us to actually grow our city in a way so that more people can have a choice that is reliable, dependable, and doesn't cost so much money.
Okay. Now, is there a way, because this has been a thing for a few years, is there a way to really lower costs? Like, what is the, I mean, it's like a golden ticket, right? It's the unicorn. How do we tackle these things?
I think that's a really important question. And I always say to people, we can have a 0% mill rate impact, but there is a direct consequence to that. We would have to, right now, we would have to scale back our police force. That would be for sure right at get-go. I don't think anybody is interested in that. We would have to look at, where are the other, core services that could be impacted. I mean, one thing that a lot of cities do is they kick the can down the road on their basic infrastructure like roads and sidewalks. And we are trying very hard to stay within best practices so that we don't fall behind. But that might be something that we want to give a little bit this time, just to try to keep the property tax lower. I don't know. These are the important conversations conversations that we're going to have over the coming months to try to bring this in line with what people can afford and I guess what we might be willing to give up.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, difficult conversations to be had. Not envying the job that you and City Council has over the next several months, but we look forward to seeing the outcome. Mayor Cynthia Block, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Select clothing for Jeremy Dodge provided by Anthony's Fashion.
Wild About Saskatoon's Pollinator Celebration and Native Plant Market is back for another year. That's Sunday at the Buena Vista School Grounds. The Strata Festival of New Music returns for another year, promising groundbreaking performances and world-class artists, June 5th through 7th at multiple locations in Saskatoon. The inaugural Bigger Old Time Music Festival is set for June 6th through 8th at the Bigger Community Hall and aims to revitalize old-time music and dance in Saskatchewan. Songs in the Garden, a songwriting workshop, will take place Saturday, June 7th in Langham. It's led by Saskatchewan musicians Earl Pereira, Carissa Hoffert, and Justin Labrache. It's back! The Real Canadian Super Band is hosting its second annual Rock the Pantry Food Bank fundraiser at Buds on Broadway. That's Saturday, June 7th. Saskatoon Startup Week is a 5-day celebration of innovation, entrepreneurship, and community and will take place June 9th through 13th at various locations across the city.